Just loading. All right, so we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. There's a lot of people in here already. As you can see, Ed is in the other scene. Glad to have you all here.
What's going on, everybody?
And I was just talking about Ed, his new glasses, man. Pretty awesome.
Hey, good times. Yeah, nothing major. Just
Enough.
had them for a while and found them, and my wife was like, "Oh, you should wear them," and I was like, "Okay." So that's
Well, Ed, I'm very happy to have you here. I appreciate you taking the time to join me. Should be a fun stream, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I would hope so. I would hope
Yeah.
so. Not that you're looking forward to it. That'll be fun.
Oh.
Yes.
Nah. I'm glad to do it. Very, very, very excited. So wow, we got 12 people here already.
All right.
So we
Awesome.
got Joey, we got Graham, we got Marcus, we got Johnny, we got Elvin, we got Kurt.
Awesome.
Man, how you all doing tonight? Hope you're all doing well. I just got off work literally 30 minutes ago, so this is my, as Ed put it a little bit ago, it's my wind down period.
Yeah, got to do that. You got to do that.
So,
Fortunately, I've been able to wind down pretty much all day. But it's one of those things where, yesterday from work and getting up at 4 a.m, and by last night, I think by 8 o'clock, 8:30, I was out, and then by 2 o'clock I was up. So from
wow.
2 whatever, I think about 11:30. 11:30, I was like, all right, I better, do something, or else I'm never gonna make it for tonight at 8 o'clock. So yeah, I was able to unwind and fall asleep for a few hours, which was beautiful, because
Yeah,
that's very rare for me. So
very nice.
yeah, so I'm actually in pretty good spirits right now, and feel up enough to hopefully communicate and not stumble over my words and
Never happened, Ed. You got to remember, you're one of the pioneers for me. You're one of the reasons why I got into my channel itself. So I appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you.
We have Colin, we have Frankie. Man, we got a lot of people here. 25. Wow.
All right.
It doubled.
Hey, everybody. Cheers.
So yeah, we don't really. Ed and I talked about. We don't really have an agenda. We were going to talk about.
Oh, we have an agenda. We have an agenda. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
We were going to talk about the one of the things that Ed got from a good friend of ours, Kurt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna take over for a second. Actually,
Yeah, man. Do what you got to do, man.
Stop all right over you. But yeah, Kurt was kind enough to send this to me, and I have been listening to it a lot. And actually, I listened to it again today. I was listening to disc 1, which I got to be honest, the mixing or the mastering or whatever on these is phenomenal on these CDs. Even disc 4 with the quality of the recording and at the Buffalo Hilton, where they were doing the rehearsals and stuff. Even for what that is, it sounds great,
Yeah.
even all muddied and whatnot. But disc 1, the stuff from Vegas was just amazing. I thought the quality of it was top notch. You know, whether it's digital or whatever.
I'm very pleased. I think, I'm an FTD guy through and through. You and I have talked about this. I think everything they put out, especially the LPs, the vinyl, is just top notch, man. Top notch stuff. The early FTDs, and you've talked about this, I've talked about this. I think Scotty on his channel, you have to turn the volume up quite a bit for the early ones.
Some of them, not all of them.
No, not all. But the last like 15 to 20 have been like amazing.
Okay. Well, the thing that I miss about the FTD vinyls is
the insert.
I think it was like the first 15 had 15. the beautiful picture inner sleeves for the most part, whether they were just full color photos or other miscellaneous pictures or liner notes or whatever. But
that had to do with the release. That's what made it so cool.
Right. They were awesome, but then they stopped doing that, and You know, it was to cut down on cost. However, ironically,
the price went up.
You know, cut on the prices went up almost exponentially. It's crazy. You know,
and they're going up. They go up. It seems like they go up like every 6 months. I think they're up to almost like $50 now.
I remember thinking, oh my God, when Blue Hawaii was released, if I remember correctly, the list price was $34.99 for the double
right.
LP. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, that's so freaking much. Because remember, this is 2009. 2009, you were paying around $20 a record, maybe 25 for a double LP. You know, so you know, at 35, you will, and plus the tax and the shipping, you know, it came to like $50. 2009, that was ridiculous price, but oh well, you know,
I remember when the FTD label launched in '99, and the CDs were $29. I was like, holy crud, this thing's better like massage my feet and wash my dishes for me or that kind of money. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And now when you see what
I never really religiously got into the FTDs, but I did get some of the classic album releases and some other ones, but I really do not have an extensive collection of the FTD CDs at all. As opposed to the LPs, what wound up happening with me with that was, like I said, I passed on Blue Hawaii because in my mind, I was like, I'm never going to play that. So I just didn't see the point in getting it.
We saw how that went.
What's that?
We saw how that went, the 15-year saga until you finally got it.
Yeah, right. Like I said, but at the same time, I was okay with being the guy who had every FTD album release with the exception of the first one, Blue Hawaii, because I just found it funny. But so then, Standing Room Only was announced, and I was really interested in that. So I picked up that, and I just started going from there. And there were a couple here and there that I did miss. And so I remember my buddy Rossi had actually sent me GI Blues and some, other miscellaneous ones I had picked up along the way. They were either still available or whatever, or became available again. But, I was able to fill in the holes of whatever I needed at that time and, maintain and keep up with the collection. So as now I got every single FTD vinyl release for what it's worth.
And what are they, Ed?
What do you mean? You mean well, most of them, I guess they all are limited edition.
There you go.
You can't get them.
So don't leave me hanging, Ed.
Yeah, well, unless you go on eBay and they're stupid, ridiculous prices for a lot of them now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Jonathan, yeah, Joey says once you buy one, you're hooked.
Yeah, well, again, especially if you get the earlier ones and you see those awesome inner covers.
Oh man, hey,
I'm gonna get one. Hold on, I'm gonna get one.
I'm just saying hello to our viewers.
Yeah,
Jonathan, hello.
One of my favorite, actually, inner covers.
Paul, what's up, Paul?
It's a goodie.
I love that album.
The Promised Land. Oh, let me pull it out of its perfect.
I actually saw a comment about a week ago, and somebody was talking about that release. They said, "Man, they couldn't have come up with a better cover than that." I think it's an awesome cover.
All right, so here's an example of one of the inner sleeves. I got to do everything backwards.
Yeah.
With this stupid camera. I'm sorry, the glare. And again, I got to do everything backwards. So what I want to do is,
there you go.
Try and get the glare out.
Yeah.
But here you get an idea of the inner layout of how they did certain ones where you might have just had full color photos.
Yeah, it's that high gloss
stuff that had to do with the release of the album, whether it be promo singles or literature or marketing or whatever. All right, and then here was the other one there.
Hey, Eric.
Look at these pictures. They're freaking and a nice glossy hard stock cover.
Yeah.
So I put them in my lost sleeves. It's one of my favorites. Look at that pose. That's freaking awesome.
That is awesome.
Good times.
You know which one I love? I think it's one of your favorites too. The Elvis is Back.
Yeah, that's a goodie too.
Man,
some great inner sleeves on that. But just to give the people the idea who may not know or have any of the earlier ones, a lot of people also just get them and don't even open them.
Yeah. Yodi, I have several. I have several that I've opened, but I have several that I haven't.
I got to be honest with you. More than half of mine is still sealed.
Well, because I have all the FTD CDs except for one.
Right.
They have more music than what's on the vinyl, but like I said, I bought some of the recent ones. I have doubles of, so I'll listen to them. But of course, they're real cheap now. Steven, hello. A lot of people here. 35 people in here, Ed.
Cool. Hello, everybody. You know what? Give me a second. I got to let Scylla wants to go upstairs, so
Gotta take care of Scylla.
Let me do that. I'll be right back. Michael,
hello. Johnny, I did see your earlier message. Ed was talking to me when I interrupt him. I saw you shot a video, so I am looking forward to seeing that, buddy. You've been missed, Johnny, and you and I are going to do one of these soon as well. We talked about that probably about a month or so ago. So good to see you back, man. I can hear Scylla from here. There's Lynn. Good old Lynn.
All right. Sorry about that. All right. Gigi and Scylla are now officially upstairs. They have departed the basement. That's how that goes. Yeah, so like I said, I was listening to the Now in Person disc one today, and I also played the Compact 33 single that it came with.
How's it sound?
It sounded phenomenal. It sounded really good. Digital,
yeah,
no doubt, but clear.
I haven't played mine yet. Shocker.
Clear and again, no complaints.
I think it's cool how they used the Burning Love cover. I thought that was pretty cool.
It's crisp. I like the back with the Madison Square. Here, let me see what I'm talking about since it's right in front of me. But here, what you were saying.
Yep.
And I like the back that promotes the MSG.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let me turn this freaking light off. You know what? Do I really need this thing?
There you go.
That's better.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep. So there's that. And as far as the book on this, or books plural, they're phenomenal.
I think the books are phenomenal.
This is great. Parents had a good time looking through them, that's for sure. This and the Madison Square Garden book, like every time my father comes here, he's like, "Where's the MSG book?" Now he's asking me, "Where's that other book that your buddy got?"
Did you let him take it home with him for a couple
days? Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
He hasn't taken this yet. He's taken the Madison Square Garden book, but he'll wind up taking these as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And for you.
Made for the of the discs form, so
yeah. It looks like you put the EP or the 33. You put that in the sleeve.
Yeah, well, it came in the sleeve.
Oh,
it came that way.
I remember seeing that on mine.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
This is the way it was.
No, I meant like a protective sleeve outside of that sleeve. Or is it just
no. It comes in the the sealable.
Oh, cool.
That's what it came with. Unless Kurt put it in this, and I don't know.
Yeah, because I think mine, some like inside of the book, it just kind of like lifts out.
Really? And it didn't have a sleeve, huh?
No, I was going to bring it down here, but other than me and my youngest daughter, the rest of the household is under the weather.
Oh no!
So I've been kind of avoiding them. They've been avoiding me because I don't get sick very often. So yeah, Kurt says no. It came like that.
It did. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, thank you anyway, Kurt.
Yeah, man, that's a great book. They said he had told me that he was going to do that for you, but I didn't think it was going to be that quick. So when you did the video, I was like, oh man, he wasn't playing.
I don't think anybody was more surprised than I was.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, it's a great set. It's one of my favorite. That, believe it or not, that and Shocker, the Blue Hawaii. I think the Blue Hawaii book set is phenomenal.
All right.
I know you're going to jump out and get that, right, Ed?
I can't say I am. I'm sorry.
It was a tinge of sarcasm there.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, Sure.
Den for you asks if that set's worth it. The Blue Hawaii, I think it is. I think it's just so well done.
Yeah, if you're a fan, of course.
If you're a fan of it,
exactly. Of that particular,
genre,
then yes, it's going to be,
or era, I should say.
Like I said, for the Madison Square Garden book, for me, had I even not received it as a gift, I would have gotten that myself, because it wasn't so outrageously priced, at $100 at the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was 100.
That's what it was. So
got it back in 2017.
But I knew that I was going to be getting it as a gift, so I was like, okay, cool. And I did. So that was a bonus. This one in particular, though, as much as like my father would have liked it, and I would have liked it as well, I couldn't justify the price. Just couldn't do it. So that's why I personally didn't get it. And that's why I'm also extremely grateful that Kurt, was kind enough to send it our way.
Yeah, it's they're not cheap.
No, I know.
About an hour ago, right before I got off work, I was just scrolling through on eBay, and they had a copy of the in-person set, and the guy was asking like $800 for it. I think somebody commented on that.
It's crazy. I can only imagine what the Madison Square Garden book is going for if you see it. I saw a
copy for $600 on eBay. $650.
I was going to say maybe $400. Oh God, $600.
And that's euro, or either pounds or euros, which it's even.
It's even more in American.
Yep.
Yeah.
You tack on $15-20 to ship it because it's got a little bit of weight to it, and you're talking probably about $750.
That's insane.
7.5 bills. Presley, hello, Mark and Ed. It's midnight here in France. Nice.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining.
Yeah,
oh God, how is everything in France? Everything okay by you?
Probably better than here. I won't say that. I won't get political. Jonathan, I'm on the fence with the Soundboard recordings. I do have a copy of Sold Out FTD CD on the way that I spent like $160 on. Yeah, they're not cheap anymore either, the CDs.
No.
The This Is Elvis set, that's gone, a used copy I saw for $250.
I was just gonna say that went insane. That's crazy. There's some really good mixes on that album, though. But you know what? I have the vinyl, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I had the vinyl as well, but I did eventually, and I didn't pay even a shred of that. I think I paid $50 for it from somebody.
Right. Okay. Wow.
About 7 or 8 months ago. I pre-ordered the new 3 FTD set, State Line, Sahara 1974. Yeah, I'll have to add it too.
Yeah, I didn't even get the FTD with that corresponds with my mother's recordings. I should have picked that one up, but I didn't.
So curious, Ed, how many of the FTDs that you know off the top of your head are ones that your parents attended? Would you say maybe a dozen?
I don't know. I don't even know if it's that many. It could be, but there's only certain ones that I'm aware of. One of them being
is it the What Now My Love for August of '72?
Oh, no, I don't know. If it was late August, usually it was the last week of August that they went. Here's one. And here's another 74, but this was basically the week before they went in 74. This was opening night where he had the different set list where he opened with Big Boss Man, I think it was.
That's a great set.
And but this is one that we were at New Haven 76.
Oh, nice.
He was kind of slurring.
Yeah, that actually didn't get the best reviews.
That was one of those shows I remember kind of whatever, but
yeah,
it wasn't one of the more
cohesive ones.
Yeah, but again, you have to remember I was like 6, 7. No, this was June, right? June or July. So I was 7 at this time. It was. Yeah, I don't know. I, my memories of it are kind of foggy. So, but
So what about when you saw him later in 77? Do you remember that better?
no, actually, I got to be honest with you, Mark. The whole funny thing is, without really certain exceptions, it's really kind of a blur. It's certain memories of, oh, okay, driving to Connecticut, or going to New Haven, or um, being at the Coliseum in line, and this is Jackie Kane in front of me, and him talking to my parents, and him buying my Cracker Jacks. Being front row, Elvis is right in front of me now, and can't remember if it was um, Love Me or Teddy Bear, but it was when he started singing one of those two songs is when my father took me and held me up, like, right in front of him,
Yeah.
to get Elvis's attention. And then that's when he did his thing, and pointed to us and went like this, and the security guards let us do, and let my father up to the stage with me. So again, like these are key memories that I have ingrained in my head. Oh yeah, and then him, coming over, bending over, putting the scarf around my neck, giving me the kiss over here, and
Was that Nassau?
that was Nassau in 1975, July 19th, afternoon performance.
Wow. Got the date
And
and everything.
and now in the evening performance, if you listen to the bootleg during Teddy Bear, my father put his friend's daughter, Christine, who was a year younger than me, so she was like 5'6", on stage. And you hear a little girl crying in the bootleg. That's Christine, because she was apparently scared. So my father put her on the stage. Elvis standing there. He puts the scarf around the neck, and there's actually a few pictures on the internet too. And Elvis has this look on his face, like, like, what are you gonna do? You try,
It's
but it's
it's
pretty
almost it's almost like a Christmas Story where they're putting the kids on the on Santa's lap and they're screaming and
right,
like,
right.
get them out of here.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty funny. So so if you ever listen to that bootleg and you hear the little girl crying during Teddy Bear, Don't Be Cruel, I know her.
Santa, I know him. No.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, Jonathan says, what a beautiful memory. I bet, man.
Yeah, man, it was good.
I always think that to think you were kissed on the forehead and a scarf by Elvis, man.
It's funny. I had a supervisor, God bless him. He's no longer with us, but I remember I was telling him about the whole Elvis thing, having the scarf and getting kissed by him. And I looked at him. I was like, I'm the only man you'll ever meet who can say they were kissed by Elvis Presley. He's like, man, I wouldn't tell anybody that. And I'm like, no,
Shit,
I'm not you. I'm not you.
I put it on the back of my car. I get a vanity tag on my car. Kissed by L.
Yeah,
By EP. Oh man, let's see. Trying to look at some of these comments here. If we're not, we are looking at them. We're reviewing them. So a lot of them are just comments, not really questions, but we are saying them. Trying to. Somebody had a little bit ago had commented, was the FTD soundboards worth it? I think they are. Of course, I collected all of them, but some of them are very good. The majority of them are very good. They sound pretty clean. There's a few that are pretty bad. The Tucson one, which was the first soundboard that FTD released in '99, that one's brutal.
yeah.
Have you ever heard that one?
I don't think so.
It's
I don't
rough.
think so.
Yeah. Let's put it this way: your mom's DeAngelo tapes are far superior.
No, they can't be.
They are. I was pleasantly surprised how good those sounded. And I mean that sincerely. They sounded very good. I mean, they weren't RCA recordings, but they sounded good. And you got that effect of being in the crowd and the excitement. That's what was cool about it.
I guess, for what they are, they sound good for the most part. But yeah, I mean, again, you have to really, really take into account what they are.
Yeah.
There's somebody who had a Sears, I think, rectangular cassette recorder, mono, had a little plug-in cheap microphone. My mom snuck it in her bag, pushed record, pulled the microphone out. Sometimes actually had to leave it in, make sure she wasn't caught, depending on where she was sitting.
Yeah.
And but like the 72 shows, the ones that were bootlegged, she said that they were like more towards the back, but in the center. She had the microphone out and a napkin over it, to keep it covered.
Yeah.
So they pretty good. They came out pretty good.
I think so.
Yeah.
I had a couple questions. Hold on. Let me see the one.
Well, somebody thought so enough to freaking bootleg them.
Yeah, really.
Let me get the bootlegs.
Oh, Elvis Record Collector says, I was at that show too. Probably saw you through my binoculars. Laugh out loud.
Yeah, there you go. Where the hell did I quote?
Hold on. There was one question I wanted to answer. Oh, Jonathan, one from Jonathan, one from Vanessa. Jonathan said, which are the best soundboard recordings? I still have yet to listen to all of them. Chicago Stadium 76 is awesome. One of the best sounding and overall great concerts. Yeah, there it is.
And August 29th, midnight show. August 28th, dinner show.
It's a wonder, Ed, that they didn't get hit for putting RCA on that, since it's not an official, it's a bootleg.
They're in the freaking, where the hell? Yeah, RCA is gonna really come and get them in the Netherlands or.
No, I know that. It's kind of a ballsy move. It really is.
Again, well, hey, look, hey, we had some people beat up some law enforcement in my neck of the woods, and then they decided to release them. And then as they released them, they're on the news giving the bird to what they got. So look, don't get me started.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ed. But the Chicago Stadium's good. What Now My Love, which is the August 72 shows on FTD, they're amazing. I'm trying to think what else off the top of my head. There's several. Like I said, the majority of them are really good. So this is a joint question for me and Ed. Hold on,
wait. Just to cut you off, my point for that whole thing that I just said was at least they're in the Netherlands giving us the finger,
and not New York.
Anyway,
yeah, we could have a whole show on that one, Ed. So Vanessa says, Mark and Ed, what are your thoughts about the possibility of FTD re-releasing CD or vinyl? I did a recent video on this. The majority of the comments, I think I got like 72 comments on it. The majority of people were all for it. Had a couple of people tell me basically I was out of my mind. It'll never happen. I honestly, my gut feeling is it won't happen because of the collectability, because of the whole purpose of the label. What are your thoughts, Ed?
I don't think it'll happen either, but I think it would be a good thing if it did happen. The thing is, and I think what we all need to understand is when we have these vinyl releases, all right, and I'm going to stick specifically to vinyl, because I did have I still have my friend who's in the music industry. He worked for Sony Music. He works for another company now. I'm not going to say which one, but he no longer works for Sony. But back in the mid 2000s when certain albums were released or being pressed or whatever. And I asked him, I was like, well, how many of these things are they actually making? And he's like, it depends, but usually it's anywhere between like 1 to 5,000, and then that's it. Unless it's really, really, really popular. Let's say, for example, like a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. That's, in a continuous press because it's always selling, and people want it and it sells out and they want, they need to restock it. But, for an Elvis release, for example, at the time when they did the Legacy edition of Elvis at Madison Square Garden, I think there were only maybe 3,000 of those pressed. Now they weren't numbered, but again, it wasn't, you're not talking the amounts that you were getting in the 60s and 70s and 80s, where it was in the tens of hundreds of, possibly even millions of albums pressed. So a lot of these albums that were released in the 2000s and up really have had a very, very limited pressing.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of them can command, a hefty dollar, because there's not that many out there. I remember when I came across I want to say it was 2009, I was in Best Buy, and I think it was $25. It was a repressing of the first Van Halen album. And I was like, I have the original, but you know what? What the hell? I can use an upgrade, baby. So I picked it up, and it was mastered by Kevin Gray and Steve Hoffman, and I freaking loved it. I loved the way it sounded. It really brought the bass out. You really heard Michael Anthony's bass, and I'm like, wow, this is great. And here we are, 2009. What is it? 14, 15 years later.
Yeah.
And the album is worth over $100 if you go on eBay and can find it. So it's like,
yeah. And I just, somebody had pointed this out, and you mentioned it too. Just the fact that the Follow That Dream was always, it was started as a collector's label, a limited thing.
right.
And I think, and I'll say this, I think it would be substantially a great move on the part of, FTD. It would earn a boatload of money, but I think it would also piss off some of the, original, because I've seen people make comments like, you people, you slept, it's your fault. But I don't feel that way. I just feel like if anybody can get their hands on these,
it's not even a matter of you slept, it's your fault. It could be a matter of somebody just came into the game.
Yeah,
late to God, I just discovered Elvis. I saw the movie. Whatever your reason is, it doesn't matter. But now you're going back and you found out about this material, and you want to get your hands on it. You should at least have an opportunity and not have to be The Rock or somebody who's super rich, to have to go out and get this stuff.
Well, take a gander. If any of you all have time, and I'm sure you have too, take a gander. Just type in on eBay Elvis FTD LP or vinyl, and it is ridiculous. $1,200 for an Elvis's back sealed. An opened copy says it's unplayed, but $1,000, $1,100 for standing room only. I've seen good times on Discogs go for $700 and $800 plus.
I think, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna sell my whole collection. It's available right now for $25,000.
Yeah.
Come and get it.
Come and get
Cash only pickup.
Frankie says, Ed, I collect Van Halen myself. Love the original Van Halen. Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Greatest debut albums ever.
Listen, I loved the original Van Halen. I loved Sammy Van Halen. I can't say I loved Gary Van Halen, but the album was terrible. But it was Van Halen. I was like, I can't. I didn't see the Sammy reunion tour when they did that 2004, 2005, when Eddie Keith were rotting out and he was just a freaking mess. I didn't see that tour, but I saw every surrounding tour, from 5150, pretty much through.
Helen says, having trouble getting the albums with the 8x10 photos. So you're talking, Helen, you're talking about the original pressings with the bonus photos, I'm assuming.
Your best bet's going to be eBay, unfortunately. But even still, you're going to be weary on condition, because it depends on how people.
That's the key. I was fortunate to find all of mine in either unplayed mint or close to mint condition.
Right.
So
I can't even tell you.
What's that?
I can't even tell you the condition of most of mine. So, they range.
Well, a lot of them because your dad had them, your mom and dad had them.
Yes. Right? Yes, correct.
I think that's kind of cool. There's a little bit of a sentimental value there, at least.
Absolutely.
Jonathan says, my first Elvis vinyl was a hand-me-down GI Blues from my mom. She got it as a high school graduation present in 61. Wow. I still have it, and it plays with no skips, just a little crackle. Pretty cool. There's a lot of fakes out there, too. You need to be careful. Johnny says, I think I saw Robert's on here. There he is. How are you, Robert? You see Robert's Pickwick video?
Yes, I did. I did.
It was pretty good.
Took me a
I had
second
to
to
laugh.
register who you were talking about, but now I know exactly who you're talking about.
Had to laugh. He said
Robert A.
it would be his least viewed video he's ever done.
No. Well, I don't think it is. Hey, and speaking of that, give me a second.
Let's see. Where's Van Halen? February 10, 1978.
Honor of Robert.
Oh.
Yes.
Still sealed.
I own one of them.
There's
If
3.
anybody wants it, it's $50,000.
Where'd you find that, Ed?
Where did I get that? I found this at Infinity.
Really? Recently?
Yes. And here's the funny thing. It was I don't think he'll get upset if I say this. It was there for a long time. And so finally one day me and my wise ass self go in and finally bring it up to him and just basically slap down an amount of money that was significantly cheaper than he was asking for it. And he just looked at me and I was like, look, it's been here, since X amount of time. So either take this or it just sits back in the shelf. So he's like, see you later.
This is a question for you, Ed. Jay, the lady on this stand blinds me. Jay Camp says, for Ed, since it was revealed that your folks got some audio recordings of Elvis in concert, I'm wondering, did they ever get any film footage?
No, the best were the 35 millimeter or one what is it, 110 film shots. Like the picture of me getting my kiss from Elvis is I believe shot on 110. Yeah, so I mean only stuff like that. Nothing as far as motion goes.
Robert says, Ed, advantage of being a regular customer. It's funny.
Wait, what did he say?
Advantage of being a regular customer.
Yes.
At your store. You still go there a lot? I haven't heard you mention it recently.
Yeah, I go there. I try to go at least once a week. I try to go at least every Sunday.
Okay. How far is it from your house?
His cousin goes there, and we get along well. His cousin and I believe it's his wife. I don't even know if they're married, wife or girlfriend, but they're very cool. So I go there, and there's other people. Bradley, that's usually there, and yeah. So it's usually BS and again, I'm my stupid wise ass self about certain things and whatnot, and we usually have a good time. So
is it far from your house?
Not at all.
Vanessa says, my local record store has been increasing Elvis records, all conditions. The last year, have you noticed that at your local record stores as well? I haven't been to a good record store in probably 2 years. I just don't.
Yeah, he hasn't really gotten any huge Elvis collections, I would say, within the past year. I would say with around the time of the movie, though, that he had, I think, obtained some things around then, but nothing recently, because I keep asking him about that.
And I saw FTD or not, Elvis would continue to be pressed. Yeah, true. For Mark, are you the only Elvis fan in your family? Have you made it to Graceland? So, first answer to the question, I am. I am the only my wife could my youngest daughter, she's 10. She not yet. She hasn't really sparked an interest much in music. My almost 15-year-old, when the movie came out, she went with me to see it in the theater. And there for about a month or so, she'd hear me downstairs in my gym, and I'd be streaming on Alexa, and she'd be like, "Dad, I know that song. Burning Love was her favorite song." So, and then it kind of crashed and burned. And she even made a comment tonight. She's like, "Dad, I'm gonna maybe watch a little bit of your stream with you and Ed, and you probably won't keep my attention for long, so I'm not an Elvis fan." I'm like, there kills that dream. As far as Graceland, I am wanting to go so bad. I have not been since July of 2001. It's my one and only time, and it's changed drastically from what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah,
Robert would tell you not for the better, because it's become more of like a Disney. Did you get that feeling when you went a couple of years ago, Ed?
Yeah, I was in there in January 2019. I mean,
has it been that long?
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was a Disney aspect. I was just, like I said, I was pissed that I had to pay to go to the section where I had to pay to walk out with things. You know what I'm saying? In other words, in order to have access to the FTD materials and certain other things, I had to pay to get into that section. So
Yeah.
that was pretty infuriating. But
well, everybody's got to get their money.
mm-hmm.
Um, Johnny says going to Florida in March. Going to check out some record stores. Very nice.
Excellent.
We have a black vinyl Moody Blue with 2 stickers on cover. How much is it worth? I have no idea. Do you have
$1 bajillion?
Added the national deficit. Back in the year 2000, I took a trip to Memphis. It was already 4 p.m. or so, and they were closed. And I just stood outside the main gates. So that's on Sun Records as well.
Awesome.
Johnny says going again in, let's see, going again in May. Wow. Johnny says his daughter is obsessed. Obsessed with Graceland or Elvis?
Both. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, I would like to go back. I'm not exactly sure when I'll be back. Hopefully, maybe, no, I don't know about August. If anything, maybe January for the birthday. My dad and I'll try and go. We'll see.
Yeah. Did you go with your dad last time?
Yes, it was him and I. We just drove. That was a long ass drive. Started in Nashville and then spent a day in Nashville, or a night in Nashville rather, and then took the 3-hour drive to Memphis. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I'd like to. I don't know if it's possible anytime soon. Like you said, the cost of fuel and driving there, it's about a 13+ hour drive from here.
Yeah, it was about 16 if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, when I went, I flew with a friend back in 2001, 2 months before 9/11.
Yeah, I ain't flying no more. I'm done flying. You know what? I've been lucky. I don't want my luck to run out.
Yeah. So you've been to Elvis Week once. Yeah, I've never. Helen says she's been to Elvis Week. I don't know if I could stand all the people and the crowds. Johnny said about a 6.5 hour drive for him.
Yeah, Johnny's closer. Johnny's in the
Georgia.
Great state of Georgia. Yep.
Always want to go to Graceland. My father went.
He's from where the Bandit was from.
True.
I bet you Johnny doesn't even know the Bandit. No, Johnny probably does.
Johnny knows the Bandit. Jonathan says, hey, can you run things for about 5 minutes? I'm being summoned for my
Seriously?
job. 5 minets.
Yeah, I could do it.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah, I'm going to put on a blank screen. Everybody's going to hang out.
All right, I'll be quick. I'll be right back.
All right, good enough. So, hey, everybody, I'm taking over. What's going on? But here's the thing. I can't see your chat. So I guess I'm just going to have to wing it. Yeah, good times. I hope everybody's having a good time. Yeah, so I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I will just sit here and ramble on. Filibuster, if you will. I don't know. And if I can even keep doing that. So yeah, so how we all doing? I wish I could hear you and see you like you could see me right now, but I can't. Good times. All right. So what do we got? All right, I guess we could talk about this. Let's talk about the recording that my mom did. This is August 28th, 1972. In the Las Vegas Hilton. My mom and dad were at this concert, and this particular release right here is of my mom's recording of that actual concert. Isn't that awesome? I think it's awesome. I mean, in a way it is, and in a way it isn't, because it was kind of like, taken without our permission, but these things happen. You know, people steal things, and then they make them, and then you make videos about it, and then they contact you, and then say, hey man, can you take that video down? That's not really fair that you said that we're thieves, and that we took this without permission, and that we're making it so much better, and we're releasing it, and you should be thankful for us and doing this, and will you please take your video down? And I didn't relent, and I said, no, I shall do no such thing, and I will not take this video down. So then they're like, well, what can we do? What can we do? I was like, well, you can at least acknowledge that my mother recorded these freaking things. And they did. I don't know if you can see it, but it's at the very bottom. And they added it. And it says, I'll read it for you. It says, the Angela tape. This Elvis show was recorded by Angela Hess of the King's Court Fan Club, NYC. Angela, thank you so much. I think it says, I can't really read it. For having the insight to record Elvis shows. So the next generation can, guys, I'm having a hard time reading this because it's really, really small writing, but it says, so the next generation can enjoy these time capsules of Elvis concerts or something, or moments. And then they toot their own horn to say that they made it sound better somehow, whatever. But yeah, so that's that.
They remastered it.
Yeah. So they say. But yeah, so that's that. All right, good.
All right. Hold on. My daughter decided to chip in and help me out. My youngest wanted me to bring her up something. I'm like, seriously? Her timing impeccable. Let's see, just make sure we didn't miss anything. I'll be honest with you, man. When that whole thing went down, Ed, I think you did like 2 to 3, probably even 4 videos of it. I think I was as angry as you were, man. Like, it was just such a ballsy move, and then trying to capitalize on it. And then, like I said, had you not even, said what you said to them, who knows what they would have put if they would have even acknowledged her. I just think I thought it was so wrong.
Well, yeah, I got to be honest with you, Mark. It's in the distant past already, as far as I'm concerned. That it's just an afterthought. I can't even remember. I would have to go back and watch the videos to see what even transpired.
Yeah.
I remember getting emailed and them asking me to take the video down. I'm like, I'm not taking squat down. No.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think that was part of it. They're like, take the videos down. To me, that just reeks of guilt. Why do you want them to take the video down?
Yeah.
Gave them a bad rap.
Yeah. Oh, well. Too bad.
Mark, ask Ed, he still have any CDs of the July 16th show of the Elvis show? That's from Helen.
I do.
Oh, cool. Good times.
Helen, if you're interested, just email me, edthekingscourt@gmail.com.
Kurt, our good buddy Kurt, says, good times with that bootleg release, as my input to one of the perpetrators got me ostracized. I remember Kurt.
Hey, Mark, do you have access to your keyboard or whatever? Can you put something in the chat?
Yeah.
Can you put my my email in there for me?
Yeah. Let me see if I can figure out how to. What's that?
I can do it on my phone. You can pin it.
Okay, my daughter's actually going to put it in the comments.
We'll tell her thank you very much.
It is. Could you repeat it again, Ed?
Yeah, edthekingscourt@gmail.com.
edthekingscourt@
all one word.
All one word.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. You're awesome.
She is. Repeat that. Helen, did you get that? I think her comment came in before.
I'll post it.
Yeah, my daughter's getting ready.
That's what I say. If this way, it's better if it's right in the comments. So in this way.
All right.
Anybody wants to contact me, feel free. If you want to buy a scarf, they're $1 bajillion each. Contact me.
Credit cards accepted.
Yeah, no. Cash on delivery.
Cash only, Ed.
Yep.
Ed, did the bootlegs sound the same on your mom's
compared to the ones that they released?
Oh,
No,
okay.
they actually did. They actually did. I gotta say, they did something to them, and they do sound a little bit clearer, and it is a little bit easier to hear Elvis, especially when he's speaking.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they did it, but they did.
The Elvis Record Collector says, when did the King's Court fan club end? I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to let Ed answer.
Well, it's not even a matter of when it ended. My parents were. I can't get into the story. I was told I'm kind of forbidden to tell the story, but
Okay.
the short of it is that my parents and Pat and Jim had a disagreement, if you will. That's really the best way to put it. And so my parents were kind of excommunicated out of the fan club. And that was in 1975. I believe it was December or around that time. So the fan club did continue. There was a little bit of I don't even know if
Friction.
but I'm going to say it. Yeah, well, I was going to say a little snarky animosity at the time against my parents from Pat and Jim. Then uh, whatever. And then, Elvis died. And I don't, shortly after, my parents and Pat and Jim patched things over, and everything became amicable again. And then Jim unfortunately passed away. I believe it was I want to say the early to mid 90s. Pat is still with us. And I did try to reach out to Pat. I had my mother reach out to Pat a couple of years ago, or if not a little bit more, to try and get her, to interview on my channel about the fan club and certain things and whatever. But she wanted nothing to do with it. She was done. So respected that, and it is what it is. So I only have my parents' side of the story on things, and again, if I was able to get Pat involved, then at least I could have gotten both sides of the story, But so the short of it is, my parents were in it from the inception of 72 up until 75. Pat and Jim then ran it from 75 to about, till Elvis's death and shortly thereafter. I think it disbanded, I want to say, about maybe 79.
Wow. Graham says, Ed, did your folks ever get a glimpse of one of or any of Elvis's girlfriends?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We got pictures of in 75 at the Coliseum. He was with, I forget her name, really, really pretty blonde girl.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say Sandy Miller.
Yeah.
Am I right? I don't know.
Yeah, she was blonde.
I don't know, but she was really, really, yeah, she was pretty. They have a picture of him and her in a Corvette.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think a yellow Corvette, if I remember correctly.
When I wrote to Colonel Parker's office as a kid, I remember getting a list of the Elvis fan club. Cool. Sheila Ryan. Is it Sheila Ryan? The girlfriend, was it Sheila Ryan?
Oh, it could have been. That name rings a bell.
Okay. Let's see. What I can also do, Ed, is I can put your email.
You can pin it.
I can try to. It didn't pop up on the thing.
If you can't do it, you can't do it. It's fine.
Ed, were your parents aware that Bruce Springsteen wore the King's Court? Of course, Ed knows.
They're aware of it now. They
Yeah.
weren't aware of it at the time. No. I think I made them aware of it in, I want to say, the early 2000s. I want to say probably around 2005 might have been when I became aware of it.
Yeah, I always said that when I said, of course he did, because I knew you had mentioned it sometime back, but that is the coolest thing.
Yeah. Something interesting. This is from July 1976 from desk of Colonel Parker regarding his concert tour dates of the time. I don't know if that's showing up.
Okay. It's showing up pretty good. It's hard for you and me, because it's the two little screens, at least on
right.
I'm not looking at this on the big screen. So
But it just shows like Thursday, May 27th, Bloomington, Indiana. Show time 8:30 at the Indiana University Assembly Hall. Then Friday, May 28th in Iowa. Monday, May 31st, Lubbock, Texas. Tuesday, June 1st, Arizona. And then back in Texas the 2nd. Texas on June 3rd. June 4th, Georgia, Atlanta. June 5th, Atlanta, Georgia. June 6th, Atlanta, Georgia. Wow.
He had a pretty tight schedule.
Yeah.
So we got a few questions here. First one is from Den for you. Mark, you convinced me. Oh, I just bought the Mickey of the Blue Hawaii. It's a great set, but I'm a huge, huge fan of Blue Hawaii. Elvis, Elvis was with Diane Goodman in July 75.
That's it. I think that's her name. Yeah. That
What is that? Is that the Colonel?
Yeah, it's a caricature of the Colonel.
How'd you get that?
From Ed Bonja.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it says, "Ask me what you can do for me." Drop dead. Colonel. And then because then this is supposed to be Eddie. I don't know if you can see on the shirt, but it says Eddie.
That is so cool.
And Eddie is Ed Bonja.
Yeah. Collecting the King says, ask Ed if his parents ever went to Memphis during Elvis week between 87 and 2000.
Oh, sure. Sure. Plenty of times, I'm sure.
Two more questions. Graham says, Marcus is non-Elvis related. How's your eyes, buddy? They'll be better in another 2 weeks. I have cataract surgery on my left eye, I think on the 23rd, and then March 8th, the other eye. That is a cool shot. Is that a Bonja shot?
No, this is, I think it's from On Tour, because it has
like a copyright.
Copyright 1972, Metro Goldwyn Mayer Inc.
Oh, that's from the actual.
So
yeah, that's pretty cool. Elvis on Tour.
Robert, any info on this?
Robert will know. Robert knows everything. He's like Mikey.
Mikey, like I said, I believe it's from On Tour. I don't know if it would be a lobby card, but if it was, I would think it would say On Tour on it. But the thing that also throws me off are these little numbers on the bottom here.
Yeah.
But see how glossy it is.
It looks like it's brand new, man.
Yeah. Well, it's not, unfortunately. It has pinholes through it. This used to be in my father's basement back in the day. In the King's Court headquarters.
Ken wants to know, Ed, if you've had any more water issues with your basement.
Thank Christ, no.
Did they, Collecting the King, Robert wants to know, did they attend any of the conventions?
I don't know. It's possible they may have. This is another studio or promo from RCA shot.
That is really cool.
Anybody
that looks like, is that from 70? That looks like 70.
I want to say 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So this could be that's the way. Well, it's definitely that's the way it is. And this is On Tour.
Den for you says promo cards from back in the day issued to theaters. Yeah, probably. Robert says that was a glossy, probably reproduced from an 8x10 still from Elvis on Tour. That's still really cool. Do you guys listen to Elvis every day? I don't.
Not every day.
But not every day.
Not every day. Cool. It's every day, bro. No, not every day.
Frankie says I do. Nothing wrong with that, Frankie.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, Jonathan. You two know Howard Newton. He took photos of Elvis on tour.
I've been looking for these. Look at that. I found them. My Elvis stamps.
You have a plethora of stuff there, Ed.
Dude, I have more stuff than I know what to do with. Look at this. Look at this. This is insane. All right, hold on.
Mike says I can't go a day without listening to Elvis while working out. I might do that tonight when I exercise. Listen to some LEP.
I love this shot. It's from the Garden.
Is that in the book? I think it is.
It is.
Thought it was. They cleaned it up too. They edited it and cleaned it up. Right?
I believe so. It's an order form from 1975.
That is so cool.
see what albums we can get.
The Dead for You says I have a rare item. It's a Is it the GI Blues hat? Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, the paper hat.
Do you have that, Ed?
No, I've seen it though. I could have had it for a while, but I always passed on it.
I think it's pretty cool.
It is, but again, I'm like, what am I gonna do with it?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with it?
Definitely a promo thing. Frankie wants to know, what are our thoughts on the song "My Boy"? It's a cool
I love
song.
My Boy.
Yeah,
My boy.
My boy. Oh, my boy.
I like the song. Well, again though, it's one of those songs that I remember my father getting the 45, bringing it home, and hearing it for the first time. So
Yeah.
and I always musically it was always pleasing to me, and of course his voice is stellar on it. So
yeah,
and it's a sad song.
It is. Oh, Graham says, Mark, do you and Ed think Baz Luhrmann really has enough stuff to do something?
Baz who? I thought you meant Baz. No, I'm kidding. I'm being an asshole. I'm sorry.
I do. I think he's got loads of stuff. Apparently, Ed, you and I were just talking about this last night.
Yep.
Supposedly, he has hours upon hours of stuff. So, yeah, I would say emphatically, yes, he does. But I think it's going to be a couple of years. Wouldn't you agree, Ed, for something?
I hope so. Yeah, definitely. Well, I hope he takes his time with it and puts as much
effort and thought into it with the movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Perfectly said. Exactly.
Yeah. I think once it does come out, I think it's going to be, well, everything he's done when he was alive was historic as far as Elvis on tour. That's the way it is. But I think it'll be on a historical proportion. I think once it's out, I think it is going to just blow up.
I hope so.
People have been pining for it for so long, especially the Elvis on tour stuff.
Well, I mean, look at what they're looking to do with a hologram, and what is that going to actually be? Is it going to be Elvis? Is it going to be 60s Elvis? Is it going to be 70s Elvis? Is it going to be a whole new thing? I mean,
I was under the understanding that it was almost like a concert thing, almost like the Elvis when this real band would play and they'd show him on the screen.
Yeah,
it's going to be a montage of when he was younger, all the way up through his movie career and through his concert years, almost like a joke, is what I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, but that in and of itself is going to be really odd. Then, that's going to be a shock to your system. You're going to see a young Elvis in 3D form, like reach out, can touch him type thing. And then all of a sudden you're going to see a, Viva Las Vegas Elvis come out and do his, or possibly a, what is it? Oh God, what's some Mary Tyler Moore? Change of Habit Elvis come out.
Or not Charo. Change of Habit, yeah.
And then in 1975, Elvis come out and do his thing. It's going to be a shock to your freaking system. I don't know. I can't see it going over well.
I did a video on it, and most people were pretty enthusiastic about it.
I would love to think it would be good, and I would also love to think that if it's done well enough, that it would be great to see that again. But
I think the main issue I have with it is I think it's cool to use like parts of actual footage and photographs and film, but then they start saying, oh, they're going to have digitally reproduced and AI, and then to me that just kind of takes away the authenticity of it. That's just me, though. Again, you and I say this all the time. It's our opinion. But, once you start adding, anything artificial or computer generated, I think that's the term they use, computer generated images. I don't know. To me, it just, you're seeing a lot of the fake, how they call that I see videos of like Elvis singing modern.
Yeah, well, that's what it's going to be. It'll be AI 3D Elvis singing Baby Got Back. It'd be like, whoa, wait a minute. Where the hell did that come from?
Yeah. And if they start singing that crap, I'm done. I'll tell you straight up. I'm not interested in that. But again, I'm a little old fashioned. I like original Elvis, but that's just me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're never going to get to see the real thing. And you know what? And even at this time, if Elvis was alive and performing at this time, in my opinion, I think he'd probably be in a quartet. He'd be in a gospel quartet. He would not be the Elvis that we knew. You know what I'm saying? Or want. He would be doing his own thing. He would be doing what everybody thinks that he's doing, or the people who believe he's alive right now think that he's Pastor Bob.
No.
What,
I
what's
saw
that
a
guy?
comment from Robert. It just struck me funny. And it's funny because I'm so spot on with how Robert feels. He put, that's probably why I'm not a fan of Elvis impersonators. He put big words, oops,
Yeah,
Elvis tribute artists.
yeah.
I am the same way. No offense, anybody. No offense, Ed. I cannot stand Elvis impersonators. That's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
you
Well,
can't
listen,
copy the real
it's
thing.
not a matter of even not standing them. I got to be honest with you. I did see Sean Clutch in 2004, and I'm not knocking Sean because God bless him. He's made a living playing Elvis. So
Yeah.
God bless him.
And there's some really good ones. Don't get me wrong.
He
I saw
wasn't.
one about a year ago. Sounded like him, looked a lot like him, was same kind of build, and the jumpsuit was looked authentic. I don't know what it is. Even as a kid, I didn't like him.
Yeah. Well, I just with Sean, I was like, he's okay. You know, he's okay. But again, you're like, he's not Elvis, man.
Not
None
at
of
all.
the guys are fucking Elvis, and
Yep.
it's
I can't do
frustrating.
it, man.
It's
I'm all
frustrating.
about the real deal, man.
Yeah.
And like you said, we'll never see him live. And a lot of
No.
people are like, Mark, dude, like this is the closest we're going to get. But like I
Yeah.
said, you got to see him live. Robert saw him, I think, in Chicago. I think he said in his video in 75, if my memory serves me correctly.
Mhm.
That's what I wish I would have seen, man. So
Yeah.
God bless both of you that's got there to see him.
Yeah.
What is your opinion that FTD should release Elvis' last Indianapolis concert? To me, should have been done long ago. And I want your opinion on this one. I don't think FTD may release a CD version of it. I don't think they'll ever release a vinyl, and I definitely don't think they'll release a book or a DVD set of it. I've heard that a long time ago, and if Kurt's still on here, I think he'll agree too.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I just think because of his poor health, the he sounded great. So, like I said, the audio of it, I think, will come out. But knowing how EPE is about it, and towards the end of his life, I don't see it happening. But I'm wrong more than I am right. So, you guys,
We'll know
also,
when we know, Mark. We'll know when we know.
yeah. Do you guys also collect the Memphis Recording Service MRS and CDs? I do not. I did initially, and then I ended up selling them off. There's just so much stuff out there I can't keep up.
I believe I have 2 of them, but no,
Mark,
I do not collect them. I don't go out of my way for them.
nah, too many of them. Mark, Ed, do you guys have an account over at FECC? I do, but I've
I
only
do
been
as well.
on twice in the last year, if that.
I do as well, and it's I'm just simply the King's Court.
Okay. The show was way better than the TV broadcast. Yeah, I agree. And it was real grainy, so I think it would be hard to really clean that up. Just like somebody I saw, who was it? Was it Robert? Somebody recently said, and they made sense. Somebody said, "You think they'll ever release with a blue when they released the Aloha set from Legacy, and they included the Blu-ray for the first time?"
Mm.
And I myself said, I think the CD set that came out 20 years ago is the best version you're going to get. It was so clean for a DVD,
Right.
but there's only so much you can do with that to clean it up, and I don't think it will ever come out any better than what that did. But
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I have the Laserdisc of Aloha, and I thought that freaking sounded amazing.
yeah,
So there you go.
Laserdisc are really picking up. There's a lot of people that are into them, I've noticed.
Mm.
Elvis Record Collector says, I think this is true. I think MRS comes out with a new release every 3 days. Yeah, they've kind of it's like FTD on steroids, and that's saying something.
Hmm.
Yeah, at Memphis Recording Service, they release a lot of stuff. They've been churning in and out.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ed? 5 more minutes?
If it sells. Yeah, if that. I'm
Yeah.
starting to nod out.
You're starting to nod out. Well, this is cool, man. This is the biggest audience of all the live streams I've done. Ed, thanks to you, man. We got a great audience.
Nope, it's thanks to you.
Nah, you're too kind.
No.
Frankie says, "Do you all have the final curtain box?" I don't, but I know it
I don't have the box. I'll show you what I do have. Oh, wait, yes. Oof. Oh, my eye.
It would be song, not free money. Yeah, Johnny, I would love to see. I'd be fine with it with a vinyl release, like a re-release of Elvis in concert, just added stuff and all that in the CD. I just don't think it will ever come out like a making of or like a book set like the in person did.
I moved some things around, so it's not where I thought it was. So now I found it. Here we go. I don't have the box set, but I have, this is basically, I guess, a bootleg of the bootleg.
Yeah, I like that. That's what the cover of the box set looks like. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, Kurt just said the final curtain box set will be hard for FTD to top. Yeah.
Yep, so there you have it. So yes, it's a 6 DVD set. So does this count?
Jonathan says, "You are mentioned in the Steve Hoffman forum, Ed."
I am?
Evidently.
I hope kindly.
Joel Warrenshacker said that the 77 concerts won't be released due to his physical appearance.
Yeah, they ain't gonna release them.
Too.
Unless they go in and digitally make him look like he did in Aloha.
Yeah. Yeah.
DH, D-Way, whatever they want to do to him.
Well, we'll have to do this again, man, if you're up for it.
Sure, absolutely.
This was very enjoyable.
Always.
Yeah, man.
Always. Absolutely.
All right. Well, appreciate it. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Yeah, we ran an hour and 12 minutes, man. Pretty good.
Well, I want to thank everybody for stopping by, and I hope everybody had a nice time.
Yeah, we
I
did.
appreciate you for hosting me, Mark.
Hey, next time I want to. If you don't know how to, I'm sure you know how to do it.
I don't.
Your channel, and we'll do this again.
Yeah, well, we'll do it again on here too, because I don't know how to do it on my channel, and I could care less to learn. So, be more than happy to do it here. It's fine.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't be doing you or me or any of us justice if I didn't let you use your closing video statement that you always say and that you're famous for your channel. So, Ed,
okay then. Thank
you all. Ed, take it away.
All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you for joining us, and I hope you all have a good day, and good to yourselves, good to each other. Take care.
See you guys.